So we just got home from our New York trip, and seems to be a little bit of damage down here from, well, apparently there were a couple of storms while we were away. So we got a little bit of a cleanup to do. Who knows what's going on in the back. I'm on my indoor bike because once again it is raining outside. Actually, there is a flood watch, and you can see what's going on out there. I mean, this is just the start of it. Actually, you can also see it up, well, I can't really give you the angle, but anyway. Yeah, so here I am. See, this is the indoor bike that I have to try to get rid of my belly and other things. We'll be taking you outside shortly, though, in the next day or so, to show you what's been going on in the last week since, well, I was out of town. Some of you know that I was in New York City, had an amazing time, but that also meant that there was stuff that was left behind. So we'll be taking a look at that as soon as it dries up. So now that it's a nice day out, we're going to take a look at really just what has happened in the last couple of weeks in the Palangeau Park. Frankly, there's a lot of things that are overgrown, and so we've got some work that we have to do. So let's see what's going on. Generally, things are looking pretty good. The outside itself, well, this is a low air quality day. You can't quite see it, but there's a lot of smoke from wildfires in Canada that have wormed their way down into our region and making it, well, kind of a rough time for for the air. But let's take a look at what is actually going on here. First of all, there are some daylilies that are still popping up over in this area. These are late blooming daylilies. And then we also have a lot going on in terms of the coneflowers and the black-eyed Susans. Those are all doing pretty well. So this area I don't have too much of a problem with. The bird feeders are doing okay, although they haven't really been, well, no one's been going to them. I put out some new jelly a couple of days ago, but there are no takers. So it could be that the orioles have moved on, not sure. Back here, the bee balm, well, I think maybe it's had better days, but it's still there. More daylilies. There's a bunch of stuff here that I gotta check out that is growing. This is getting to be a little too thick now for my taste, and it's hiding some of the new black-eyed Susans that have bloomed beyond all of this. Also of note, look at what we've got going on here. So these are this special kind of sunflower, which I had planted months ago. You remember they were the whole plant was like maybe, I don't know, at the most maybe 3 or 4 inches tall. Now it has totally taken over this entire area here. But these little orange sunflowers are really quite beautiful, I think. Where there were some daylilies before, and I had started chopping some of it down, well, there's more that needs to be chopped down there. It's starting to look a little scraggly in this part, so that needs some work. But over here, these particular black-eyed Susans, I think they may have hit their peak, although there are still some additional blooms popping up. This plant is huge, and I don't remember if I planted it last year or the year before, but this is much bigger than I recall it. And so anyway, it's doing okay and offering a lot of nice color. Oh, look, there's a chipmunk. You see, this is what ends up happening. These guys come around and then they scare me, right? Well, not purposely, but this one, he's just kind of looking my way. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Seriously, I will probably jump if he does run my way. What's up, buddy? Hey, What's up? Yeah, all right, that was that. So he's so he's going to go over here. Now, interestingly, to also point out that you know what's been going on with this bird feeder, which is usually quite full of birds, and it takes really only a few hours for all of the seed to go away. I actually put this seed in 2 days ago, and so I don't know if a lot of the birds are beginning to fly south. I don't know, but we'll see what happens, especially since I bought 2 more big bad bags of seeds before we left on our trip last week. Now, this area, well, I'm losing the path. See, all the rain that we've gotten, it has really kind of taken over this area. And, well, I've not been happy with the cutter that I've used to chop all of this down. So, time to get something new. I decided to go in a different direction now. This is a brushless brush cutter, which is supposed to have a blade, which I think I'm going to prefer versus the strings of the other one. So I ordered this one from the Home Depot, and it was sent free of any kind of delivery fees. So I'm going to open it up. These are all the parts. And, well, these are the instructions. Now, I'm not real good at instructions, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so it took me about an hour to put this thing together. Most of it has to do with the fact that the instructions are very complex, and even the guy that I looked up on YouTube that explained how to do it, he agreed, but then his instructions were confusing. Anyway, so now I have to see if it works. So this new device has got it's some kind of a guard that you put over, and it's supposed to, like, I don't know, help you do something. I'm not quite sure. Maybe keep you from hurting your back. So the question now is, okay, which way does this go? I'm telling you, I'm very good with, like, depth perception and those kind of things. And I really do need instructions. And even then, I have issues. So, I don't know. Okay, that's not going to work. Whatever I'm trying to do there is not working. It said something about putting... Seems like that would go in the back, wouldn't it? And then this goes in the front. And there's like a little chain thing that attaches to the device. I mean, really? Like, what happens? So if I think of it like a backpack, it would go like this, right? But it doesn't reach around, so that can't be right. I'm serious. Nothing feels logical when I do these kind of things. Now here's this little pocket. I'm not quite sure what you put in the pocket, okay, but they do have that. So in theory, maybe that means that does go in the back. And then maybe I take off my hat. And maybe I do this. It seems like that could be right. And then, so there's this like hook, and that's supposed to hook onto the device. This just seems like it's way complicated. Let's see. Do I even need such a thing? So now I did that, but I'm like, really? Is this supposed to be how this is going to operate? Feels like, I don't know, man. Now I can figure out how to turn it on. Ooh, that worked. All right, so I'm going to go over here. Let's see what this does. I like I said, I don't know. This seems weird. Like this is supposed to be in front of my face like this. Maybe I'm supposed to breathe in the fumes. I don't quite understand the concept. So it seems, it would, that's plastic there. So I think that has to come off, although that was nowhere in the instructions. But I got to take the battery out in order to do that. So I don't want it to accidentally start. So, that seems to come off. And it was not tight enough when I first tried it, so I gotta tighten it up. And the guy in the video said instead of doing the traditional way, you have to go the opposite way in terms of like, loosey-goosey and that kind of thing. Never really understood that whole thing, but whatever. I think I need to go back to Broadway again. All right, now it is working. But, this thing is damn heavy. So, I don't know what the hell this is doing, quite honestly. But ultimately, it is pretty powerful. And I think what I have to do is I think that these handlebars are supposed to go in the opposite direction. So I have to adjust that before I try to tackle what's going on back there. So I really thought that I had the whole thing on correctly, but well, apparently not, because as I tried to turn it off, the blade and everything went flying. Gotta figure this out. All right, so I think I got some of the parts, but I don't think I got all of them, because there's nothing on the top here. So now I gotta hunt around to see if I can find this other piece that got loose. Yeah, so see if you could help me find it. All right, now such luck. So I'm gonna go inside. I gotta see if I can find out what exactly that part was, so I maybe have a better idea as to what I'm looking for. Why can't these things just come already put together? Well, we can't find the bolt. And we don't have any in the house, so it's gonna require a run to the store, which I don't feel like doing today. So we'll do some other work, and then we'll pick up on taking care of this wonderful new tool on another day. It's a new day, and the issue with the Ryobi product, and specifically that nut that we were trying to find, hasn't been solved. And I'll tell you why. Because Frank went everywhere. He went to about 3 or 4 different hardware stores. He could not find that particular nut that goes onto the bottom of that device. So, this morning, which is Saturday, I called customer service. They told me I had to call parts. I called parts. Parts isn't open until Monday. So I guess that means that for the cleanup, the rest of the cleanup I want to do here, I got to go and use my old time thing that I use, my other Ryobi that's got the string in it, which I really don't like. And I actually think that it's a little easier to use because, frankly, using that thing yesterday, it was a little heavy, and I kind of hurt my back. My back was a little sore last night. So that's it for this week. See you soon.